paints your noose like an old man. He's got you thinking about your death and you are frightened.
Hi to everyone, I'm Ada from PoisonedRock, and today we have a huge honor to have with us Frank Blackfire from Sodom. Thank you for being with us. It's an honor, and I just want to say, just introduce yourself, firstly as a musician, and just a brief story, just really brief story about who are Sodom for the newbie fans, for the teenager that are approaching right now to the music.
Hi to everyone, my name is Frank Blackfire and I'm a guitar player. I play in Sodom. I used to play in Sodom from 86 to 89. I played in Kreator from 89 to 96. And since 2018, I'm back in Sodom. And I also play in a band called Assasin since
Huge band as well.
2016. Yeah.
Okay, so now speak a little bit of. We will speak, of course, of Sodom first of all. Your first period in Sodom, we can say this is the first sound is really connected to the sound of Venom, and what brings the band sound of like we can say these influences from Venom.
I guess Tom and Chris were very influenced by Venom. I guess, as far as I know, when Tom heard Venom, he was so going crazy, like, oh, I have to play music.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess that's how it started to form the band Sodom, but that was before my time. That was like in 82 or something like that. And so Tom was, a big fan of Venom and still is, I guess. And that's how it started with Sodom.
Yeah, sure. After the first EP, Sign of Evil, was released, Obsessed by Cruelty, you were already knew that the sound and the lyrics that will be out, I mean, like strongly that way, or it was something like more, I was like a surprising that that like a masterpiece of that way.
Obsessed by Cruelty was before my time.
Yeah.
I knew Sodom at this time because I used to play in another band that was in the same building.
Really?
So I knew the sound of Sodom, and I guess it was around that time when they recorded Obsessed by Cruelty and before, and we knew each other, and I knew that Sodom was playing a fucking brutal kind of sound and fast and everything, and that's how I recognized them first when I was in this other band.
That's amazing. And after a little, you joined the formation with the Persecution Mania, when the band moved straight, we can say, to thrash metal. And it was you joining the band that brought the band to thrash metal, or it happened suddenly?
No, I guess it was. First of all, Sodom was asking me to play guitar with them. And especially Chris Witchhunter, I was hanging out with him a lot, and we went to some places to eat and drink something, and to know each other better. And I'm from a little more from the new wave of British heavy metal. I used to play in a band who covered Judas Priest and stuff like that.
Amazing, yeah.
And for me, this this extreme thrash metal fast sound
Yeah.
new. It was kind of new. I mean, I was listening to faster metal also, but yeah, to handle that speed and everything, it was
Yeah.
a little hard to learn that in a quick time.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
so actually, my influence was a little more Slayer when I joined,
Yeah.
because Tom gave me the Hell Awaits album of Slayer, and he said, "Listen to that." And I was listening to the album, and the first song, Hell Awaits, was like, "Yeah,
So
that's
we
not."
can say that maybe your taste in a new wave of British heavy metal brought influences into the band, and then came out to a thrash metal way.
Yeah,
Because Sodom are one of the most, we can say, particular band of the Teutonical thrash metal, because they are really a band for, we can say here in Italy, for metalhead. If you are a true metalhead, Sodom must be one of the your top five band, because they are like on the top. So, now we can speak of one of the big, huge masterpiece, Agent Orange. You already knew that Agent Orange would be a masterpiece like that. West, such a huge. I mean, we say, when you say Agent Orange to someone, Sodom lyrics, Sodom. I mean, you already knew that, or it just happens.
no, no, nobody knew that before. It was kind of like when I was starting with Sodom, the first recording we did was Express of Sodomy, like maxi single with 3 songs. And that was my very first experience in a studio in Berlin with Harris Jones. And at that time, we had better studio conditions, a better producer,
Yeah,
and we were a better band. I mean, everybody was playing tighter together.
that's
So
amazing.
the record company first wanted to test. Oh, they have a new guitar player. Let's see what kind of fucked up song they do. So they let us record the maxi single Express of Sodomy with 3 new songs, and everybody was like, "Oh, oh, that's different." Oh, and after that we recorded Persecution Mania, which was a whole album
Yeah.
at the same studio with Harris Jones, and yeah, I think people were taking Sodom a little more serious than before. And
That's amazing.
yeah, I was always trying my best in songwriting and playing live and everything, and I tried to get the best out of it. That's how
Yeah,
I composed Agent Orange, like the music, and
amazing.
I was working even harder than before, every day in a rehearsal room with Chris Witch Hunter, and we were playing together and working shit out, and that's how Agent Orange came out. And then we went to the studio and recorded. And nobody knew that Agent Orange would be like that famous and like a milestone in thrash metal. We didn't
Yes.
before, no.
And after you left Sodom, in your opinion, until you come back into the band, the release of the albums, the other albums, what do you think about that albums where you were in the band?
When I wasn't in the band,
Yes, the album they released without you. I mean, what do you think about, in your opinion, about that work?
yeah, first of all, I have to say that I always concentrate myself in what I'm doing at the time. So
Yeah.
when I'm working with another band, maybe here and there I hear something from my old band, and but I'm not into. Oh, I have to listen to everything
Yes.
what everybody's doing now, and
You want to be focused on
yeah, I
on your present.
focus on my present work that I have to do. And of
Yes.
course, I was listening to one or another Sodom song or album, and yeah, it was like there's always some good songs that I like from albums, and but sometimes I didn't have the time to listen to.
Yeah, sure, because
Even,
you've been busy, we know.
even nowadays, I can't listen to newer bands or sometimes here and there. I have to spend my time on my work and focus what I'm doing, you know.
Yes,
So I can't really tell about, yeah,
that period. Yeah, sure.
because they released so much albums in that time. I wasn't in Sodom. I can't. Yeah, I mean there's always some tunes that we still play live and that I like and everything. And yeah,
Yeah.
but I can't follow every little song.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
No,
it's normal. Sure. I mean, you've been away for a long period, and there is a lot of material. Of course,
a
you
lot of
can be there, stay and listen each song. Is yes,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
it's understandable. And what I was saying before, um, suddenly Chris Wishhunter was missing. Is missing. What there is some beautiful moments with him that you can want to share with us, so we can have like a smile thinking of him.
Oh yes, sure. When I joined Sodom, it was Chris Witchhunter actually who brought me into the band, who
It's
told
great.
me, "Hey, come on, join the band, and we're gonna have a good band together, and you're gonna be a good guitar player, and you're gonna be famous or whatever. Or you're gonna be people gonna know about you and everything."
Yeah,
I said, "Yeah, sure, let's join forces and let's do it." And we had a good time together. We always went out to eat, drink something, drink a couple of beers here and there. And I was
great.
going out a lot with him to some certain metal places that we had at
Yes,
the
sure.
time. And yeah, we had a lot of fun together. We were doing yeah a lot of shit together.
Great.
Like,
It's great. I mean, now we come back to Sodom sound. In the 90s, the sound of Sodom is as influences from death metal to groove metal. You agree to? I mean, you share this sound of the band, or you prefer the sound that takes later
from what time? I didn't get it.
in the early 90s?
In
That
the
was like that groove metal like that, and then moved into the thrash metal. You prefer? I mean, which is your opinion about that?
in general, like bands, you're talking about bands, yeah. Yeah, I mean the 90s. I'm not really a fan of what came out in the 90s. Yeah, sure, there was metal still, but there was a
Yeah.
big that big grunge wave and everything, and I don't know. The 90s were kind of weird. I mean, there was a lot of new stuff coming out and everything,
Yeah.
uh, but I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm a little trapped in the 80s. So
Me, me too. Even if I'm younger, me too. I understand you.
70s, 80s, but yeah,
Yeah.
actually, and I was never listened to too much music. I was, of course, here and there, I listen to something and say, oh, that's good, that's not so good, and everything. And there were like new kinds of metal starting or whatever, new metal or stuff like this, death
But
metal,
it
black
never
metal.
stayed like in
Yeah,
your heart. You maybe could like it and enjoy it, but it never stayed inside you, like formed your shaped you as person. Maybe like the 80s or the 70s music.
yeah. I mean, I like thrash metal. I like the speed of thrash metal and hard
Yeah.
riffs and good guitars. And if there is a new band that plays it good,
Yeah, that's amazing.
I will like it. Yeah, sure. But I'm not a big fan of blast beat. That is a little too
Yeah,
fast
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
for me.
to that matter. Yeah, yeah.
I need the power. I need the punch. And like
This
200
is
per minute or 240, okay, there's still punch. And but
I
if it's
sure.
fast, it's kind of like I don't know. It sounds to me like a drum computer or something.
Yeah, like a drum machine. Yeah, I agree with you because I think that the music has be, especially thrash metal, has be more aggressive of impact. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think because it's thrash metal. I mean, this is
Mhm.
the what people can feel listening to thrash metal. Something really fast, aggressive, and of
Yeah.
impact. And speaking about when you come back in Sodom, how was it coming back in Sodom after so many times? Something is changed, or for you it was like the time never passed by.
Of course, something changed. I mean, we're getting older, and there's a lot of time in between. But something curious is like our rehearsal room right now is like 50 meters from the rehearsal room we had before in the 80s. So
Wow,
we
it's
are
like a
practicing
coincidence.
almost at the same place, like 50 meters from there where we used to practice before. This building it doesn't exist anymore. But it's kind of like, yeah, some things they come back in life. It's like
Yes, yes, it's like a coincidence that
that,
that it was meant to be,
exactly
like something like that. It's amazing.
some
And
crazy weirdness. Huh?
of course, now I want to ask you, before speaking about the future project and the other stuff, I want to ask you just your experience with Kreator and Petroza.
Yeah, I had pretty good experience since I joined Kreator, and it was kind of like at that time I was hanging out with Miller, and we were going out with some other friends, and that's actually how we joined forces. And at that time, Trize was leaving the band, and they needed a new guitar player. And I was before, I mean, after I was out of Sodom, I was planning to get my own band to like
New
get
band, yeah.
back together somehow. But at this time, it came like this that Miller and me knew each other. We were going out, and
Yeah,
that was kind of like yeah, we were thinking about to join forces together, and that's how it started.
that's amazing.
I have a lot of good experience with Kreator, and we had a lot of
Yeah,
fun together. Like on all those tours, we had always fun together.
yeah, I mean,
We were
because
like a
even
family, you know, and
yeah,
it was a good time actually, man.
because I mean, at this Sodom Creator, also Destruction are like the main pillar in Europe thrash metal. Of course, they are different. The sound is different from each band, but if we speak European thrash metal, the minds comes to these three bands. So yeah, you basically were in the biggest two.
Yeah.
So and now I want to speak about influences. Of course, I want to ask you about musical influences of Sodom. With if there was some band, we said we spoken before about Venom. If there was other bands that maybe influenced Sodom or was just what was happening in the world, I don't know, something that influenced the band.
Oh yeah, sure. I guess Motorhead was a big influence.
Could
Uh,
the rest in peace, Lemmy?
yeah, and Slayer also was an
Yeah,
influence. And I guess everybody had his own influences in like
yeah.
musicians or bands or whatever. But I guess those were the biggest influence for Sodom.
Yes. And what about you? Your personal influences?
Oh, my personal influence, like when I started playing guitar, definitely was AC/DC, like Angus Young, AC/DC. Guitar playing uh, was one of my biggest things, like to start playing
Yeah.
guitar. It was like right after AC/DC show in 1980, which I seen here in my hometown. And yeah, I really liked Richie Blackmore when like Deep Purple times, Rainbow. I always liked
Yeah.
Richie Blackmore playing.
Remember amazing. Yeah.
A little later, I got into Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen was an influence. I was always like, wow, what is he playing there? I mean, a lot of guitar players were influenced by him, but the two hand tapping stuff and this, yeah, was really wow. That's cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's always some guitar players that you are when you hear them, you think, oh, I want to play like this, or I want to, you know.
Yeah.
I was
So
playing guitar with blues guitar actually, and hard rock, and then heavy metal. I always liked hard
yeah.
sounds, like distorted guitars and everything, and that's how it started. Like,
Yes, and like I told you before, five albums or song of artists that really shaped you since you were a child till today. Could be anything. You can both you can even mix it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely for me, a big influence to listen to AC/DC was the album Highway to Hell. That's how it
Okay.
started. And this album brought me into AC/DC sound, and even in playing guitar later, I wanted to do something like he did, like
Yeah.
stage after I seen the live show. And yeah, definitely when I started playing thrash metal or yeah, thrash metal in general was Slayer's Rain in Blood, which is a
Hmm.
milestone also. And yeah, those were definitely two influences
Two.
or albums that influenced me a lot. Yeah, but I'm always also like influenced by wow. I mean,
I thought you will stop.
there's a lot of songs that I like I like to play guitar instrumentals like
Hmm.
for example Carlos Santana. I like
Oh, it's
I,
yeah, the
I like very
king.
much his
Yeah,
thing. It's not metal, but his guitar is
yeah.
nice, and I like that too. And yeah, of course, I like blues guitar playing also.
Mhm.
I like, for example, Jeff Beck.
Yeah, just back.
Beck is
Sure,
a real nice, cool guitar
sure.
player that I think plays something really weird that nobody else played. And
Yeah, the last one we had.
I
You
like
said.
I like John McLaughlin,
Yeah.
like Aldi Meola. I like those fast playing stuff. And
Hmm. Yeah, sure.
yeah, there's some really good guitar playing. And yeah, there was a
Yeah,
time
sure.
I was influenced by too.
Now I want to speak a little about touring. Yes, there is some moments, some memories in particular that you have touring with Sodom, like could be funny moments, or even just a moment. I mean, something that you remember mostly of touring with Sodom.
Touring with Sodom. I mean, actually, I only did one tour with Sodom because
Hmm.
at the beginning we only had like weekend shows and
Yeah, could be also just
yeah.
short moment, just some memories in particular.
Oh yeah, I mean, our very first tour was like all over Europe with Whiplash in
Yeah.
'88. That was a really everybody was like everybody was excited and everybody wow we go on tour and we play like 3 weeks all
Oh
over
my God,
and everybody was young and wild and yeah let's do it let's fucking
that's amazing.
yeah and then we had a show in Poland that
Uh-huh.
was like 80 I guess 88 87 something like that.
I was
That was
burning. I was a child.
yeah, that was the very first big show in Poland because at that time everything was closed. The Iron Curtain was still closed, and we played a show in Poland as a headliner
Yeah.
in front of like 5,000 people or something like.
Oh,
And that was amazing. That was like wow, we were like very young. And
yeah.
the biggest show for Sodom at that time.
That's amazing. So now just different questions before going to the last one.
We played a show in
To and you have the chance to plan your own festival. Okay, so which band would you bring with you in that festival? Could be living band, non-living band, band from the present, from the past. It's up to you. You can say even two bands. There are no numbers, just bands you want to be on the bills.
oh I guess I would bring definitely AC/DC and what else? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's so many bands. I mean, where you can that you can put together. I mean, it's not possible anymore, but
Yeah.
Uh, I would bring Slayer.
Yeah.
I would bring Van Halen, and maybe Motorhead, and
An amazing festival. I mean, like the legends.
I would definitely bring Saxon because I
Wow.
still
Yeah.
Saxon is a band that I really liked when I was 16,
Yeah.
17, 18. I was wow, Saxon is so cool, and even back like in like a year or 2 years back, we were playing with Saxon, and they're still good, and Biff is still
Yes.
fucking
Yes. They
great.
are amazing.
I mean,
Yes,
that's
and we
cool.
said before you had another project. You played in Assassins. What can you tell about that band? The period.
Oh yeah, I joined Assassin when they had the album Combat Cathedral out,
Yeah.
and yeah, we had the chance to play. Uh, we had the chance to play the a show in Chile with
Hmm.
Anthrax, which was fucking yeah great. I mean, Chile is always a wild crowd, and Chile is fucking going crazy. And we had the chance to play there before Anthrax, and we had the chance to have a festival, Bang Your Head, here in Germany.
Yeah.
And we played some other shows, and yeah, we came around a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard for Assassin still,
Sure.
but it was nice. It's a nice friendship with them, and everybody's cool. We are laughing a lot together and talking bullshit and
Amazing.
everything, and it's
That's
it's
amazing.
pretty cool, huh?
If we can, for example, give an advice to the young generation, the next and the further generation, and to pick one album or one song from Sodom, and they can just say, okay, this is the sound of Sodom, will be which will it will be in your opinion?
One song or album?
The same, the same.
Same. I definitely listen to Agent Orange,
Hmm.
which is like
The
yeah,
soul of that.
which is an album that every, as you said, every like diehard metal true knows, and yeah, to know Sodom, I guess you have to listen to Agent Orange,
Yes,
and I mean, sure, there's a lot of albums from
of
Sodom,
course, of
but
course.
of course, I will represent the album I played
That
on.
yeah, that I
Uh,
mean, you represented the one of the biggest, the big, no, no one, the biggest for me, in my opinion. Just this other opinion.
yeah,
So I just wanna, I mean, what do you think about the contemporary thrash metal scene? Because right now, even in Germany, there are new thrash metal, new thrash metal band like Dust Bolt, and a lot of new thrash metal like Evil Invaders in Belgium. There is this new, like we can say, new era of thrash metal. Because they are, of course, this band. They are trying to bring the new, like a new sound, new. But of course, they are inspired by you, the huge band of the 90s, the 80s. What do you think about this contemporary, this new wave of thrash metal?
yeah. First of all, I really appreciate to those bands that they keep the spirit alive, like thrash metal,
Yeah,
and they like to continue the new generation of thrash metal.
yeah,
I don't know much of those bands, or I don't know what they
yeah,
play.
sure, yeah, sure. You
But
said before because you want to
I
keep focus.
yeah, I know for sure that nowadays you have to be much better and technical, better and everything to yeah to be heard from.
Yes, but it would be better if it would be like more, more tough, more rough than super
Yeah,
technique. Because music, it's what your heart and want to play. So it should be natural, spontaneous, not all recorded and like seems like a robotic. But we can do anything. This is the innovation,
yeah, because
and
there's
yeah,
there's so many bands today, and you have to
I
stitch
know.
out like somehow. You have to be very good at your instrument, and you have to have good music, and
Yeah.
you have to have something special to stitch out of
Yeah,
this.
sure. And now is, I mean, the last question, of course, is about speaking about the future project, because I know that Genesis 19 will be out the next 27th November. What
Yes.
could you tell about that album? I mean, just something of that you can tell. I mean, that about the releasing of the new album of Sodom.
Yeah, the new album is definitely an album that is dedicated to 80s traditional thrash
That's
metal,
amazing.
which is very like 80s style.
Yeah,
And we tried to bring the spirit of the 80s back. I mean, even
yeah,
recording wise, we tried to to don't
yeah,
sound modern at all, like, because nowadays if you listen to a lot of bands, it sounds kind of like
yes,
too nice or too flat or something. But Sodom is raw and Sodom is brutal, and that's what we tried to keep, like the brutal, the energy and
yeah,
everything, and the sound of the 80s with a like new technology, of course, in recording, like, which is nowadays, because
yeah.
back then we used to record to a tape machine in
Yes,
analog, uh,
well,
mixing that and everything, and nowadays you record different, of course, but we tried
yes, sure.
to capture this 80s sound.
Yeah, to
uh,
maintain in a certain way, even if there are so many technologies, so many innovation, so many digital innovation, you try to do like up being in the era, like being okay, we are doing this
yeah,
with contemporary technologies, but at the same time we're trying to do something that is
yeah,
ours, something that was in Sodom before.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so yeah, now we are basically just at the last question. That is just simply a message to Sodom fans, your fans, because I mean, we are interviewing you, Frank Blackfire. So, a message for your fans, because you've been in such a lot of huge band that we can say that I made an interview with Sodom, I make an interview with you. So, this is the most important thing. So a message to your fans and our follower of PoisonedRock, and thank you so much for being there, for being with us.
Yeah. um, Here's a message to all sodomaniacs all over the world.
Oh,
You gonna fucking have to listen to Genesis 19, which comes out at November 27th, and you
great.
fucking love the album.
Yes, I will. I will be the first one to run to buy it.
Yeah,
I cannot wait. I'm waiting since a lot of time. So thank you so much, and it was really an honor because I mean we have. I have when people will see the interview with Sodom and Frank Blackfire, they will just look blown away. I just can't imagine people saw that. That was amazing. Thank you so much, and I
yeah,
hope to see you in some gigs because I am always in Germany for Summer Breeze and Partisan Festival. So who knows? Maybe we can meet and have a beer in some festival.
yeah. Who knows? Yeah, sure.
Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
So thank you so much, and have a good rest of the day.
Yeah,
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Thank
Bye. Thank you so much.
You can't refuse what the old man whispered to the preacher during the sermon. He's a saint to the fools of the old land, but we can see straight through the tricks that he is turning. He'll speak, but you gotta believe